I know this is spellbinder with this very disturbing trend that's going on. Now we know that the states are going to start cutting and axing budgets. That means they're going to cut out on prisons, and prisons are going to start becoming privatized. Privatized prisons have become the most profit-making businesses in America since at least 2007. This article here, Privatization of Prisons, looking at the benefits and the disadvantages. Privatizing prisons is a band-aid approach that does not cure the infection, only spreads it. Imprisonment, whether it is operated by a state or government entity or a private corporation, is not a well-desired business to operate. The private sector only stands to gain financial status by depriving others of their physical liberties. When these liberties are taken away, there should not be fiscal awards or profits from the suffering of individuals. Therefore, privatization is not a justified concept. When prisons are privatized, competition emerges. When competition emerges, quality decreases. What happens when quality decreases in a prison? A cheaper inmate is produced that is more likely to recidivate and escalate the problem instead of solving it. The focus should be on correcting the problem so that fewer people are incarcerated, therefore decreasing the cost of operating prisons. That is what's going on here with this video here from CNBC. They are turning us into a prison populace, a prison planet is what we're becoming, and this is why.
We want to pay attention to a couple of names here. An under-the-radar sector literally locking up profits. The puns keep rolling here because we're talking about prison stocks. These are the privatized ones. Not all prisons are run by the state. And the two biggest players in the space that have privatized the prisons, Corrections Corp of America and the GEO Group, have both seen big gains over the past 3 months. So, is there room to run from here? TC Robillard is Managing Director and Senior Business Services Analyst at Signal Hill. TC, good to have you with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And we said this not in any way intending to be ironic, but I would imagine that when you look at growth in prison stocks on the positive side for the stocks, you're not seeing any change in numbers of people going to prison, at least in terms of a decline during the slowdown, are you?
No, we're not. I mean, you've seen prison populations pretty consistently over the last 3 decades move up a couple percent a year. And, unfortunately, as a citizen, that's not the most exciting statistic. However, when you look at it from a business model perspective for the private operators, it's clearly good news.
And what about on the other side of things? I mean, I know that they're privatized, but I would imagine they're still getting funding from the states. Isn't there pressure to cut back on prisons just like there is on everything else right now?
There is, and what you typically see in a recession is the states end up overcrowding their own prisons in an effort to save money. However, that's not something the states are comfortable doing for the long term. It poses a lot of risks, and as budgets start to flatten out and slowly improve, one of the first things you're going to see them turn to is the private sector to help alleviate some of that overcrowding, because the states will not have the funding necessary to build new prison beds.
So do these guys literally, when you've done the analysis, run prisons more cheaply per head than the states do?
They do. I mean, on an operating basis, you're looking at cost savings that average roughly about 10% relative to what the government can do. But the bigger cost saving is on the capital investment. The average cost to build a prison for a private operator is anywhere from $45,000 to $75,000 a bed. For the government, it's anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 a bed. And I think that's really where the large savings come from.
All right. Well, thanks very much, TC. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that's 90% of the prisoners are non-violent. Victimless crimes, or at least 80% of that. I mean, I'm telling you, we're going into a prison planet. They're going to make a profit off of you. Your children and children's children will probably end up within a year or so of their life after they grow up to have to spend 2 months in a prison for anything they seem to, well, when they make new laws that anything you do is a crime, will be there to make a profit for these private corporations who are now talking of putting businesses in prisons. They've already started to do that, making widgets for corporations, but now they're just going to make it so they get free labor. It's just like Chinese labor. A lot of them were working free labor. Oh well. I guess live and learn. Nothing changes after the election. Just different faces, different parties get in control, and business as usual goes on because the banksters and Wall Street run the people of the United States and the world, especially the United States with Wall Street. We're not getting away from this. We're just going deeper and deeper into the hole of 1984. I mean, I was reading things where they're saying the war's never going to end. Think we're ever going to get out of war? No. Did they ever get out of war in 1984? No. There was always a war going on somewhere, real or imaginary, and we had to pay taxes to it. They're going to keep the taxes down just enough to make you happy enough that you'll let them get away with continuing raping the world with the banksters and the international corporations. I don't know what else to say. It's a sad day on Earth. And it's just going to get worse. I don't see it. I've seen the stock markets go up. I see the Fed saying they boosted the stock market. The very people we wanted to get rid of are now looking like the good guys. They're going to create jobs and businesses are going to go up. See, to save their own hind ends, they're doing this. But will it save the lives of millions of people on the planet from starvation and others? Nah, I don't see it. I don't see nothing but things getting worse. I don't see things getting better until we get rid of the criminal element in government and the criminal element in corporations, Wall Street, and the banks. We got to go back to our own money. We got to start printing. Congress has got to start doing their job as the Constitution demands them to control and print the money. It doesn't matter if there's gold or silver backing the money, as long as they're printing it and they're controlling it, and they're not giving it a face value plus an interest on it for debt. We need a debt-free money. That's what the Federal Reserve does. They print this money up. The government says we need it. They go, okay, here it is, face value, and oh yeah, pay this percentage in interest. Well, see, Congress was doing their job when they were printing it. There would be no interest on the money at all, and we'd become a powerful country. Every time the country has money that has no interest and no debt on it, we become the most powerful country. We've done this twice since the beginning. And every time we'd start to move up, the banks, foreign banksters would come in, take over the money system, and there you got it. And now they're going to, I don't doubt it, that they're investing in these prisons so they can get free labor. Well, until next time, this is Spellbinder with some very depressing news saying that, oh yeah, the stocks in prisons are going up in privatized prisons. It's a wonderful thing. Privatized prisons. We need more of them so we can put more victimless crimes in there. More people that have done nothing to no one else, have hurt no one, but they have violated something that somebody made up so they could get them in a position to incarcerate them and put them away and take away their freedoms and liberties. Be good, or be good at it. Good day.